over 200 years now, and, well, people are beginning to talk.
Clarence, what's that book?
The Adventures of Tom Sawyer, sir. I was reading it when you sent for me.
Oh, fine book. Excellent. Well, you do a good job on George Bailey, and we'll see about your wing.
Oh, thank you, sir.
Now, listen. When George Bailey was a boy, two events occurred that you should keep in mind. One was when his young brother, Harry, fell through the ice and almost drowned. George saved him.
Brother fell through the ice. George saved him.
Ever since, George has had a bad ear. All that icy water, you understand.
Yeah, bad ear. Yes, sir.
The other event came a few months later. George used to work after school in Mr. Gower's drugstore. One day, Mr. Gower's only son died of influenza. It was a terrible blow, and poor Mr. Gower tried to lose his grief in whistling.
Where you been, George? Mrs. Blaine's called twice. What happened to her prescription? You lost it, didn't you?
No, Mr. Gower. Here it is.
Well, you good for nothing. Don't you know that Blaine girl's very sick?
Mr. Gower, my ear. You're hurting my sore ear.
Teach you to loaf, you lazy brat.
Mr. Gower, you don't know what you're doing. You put something wrong in those capsules.
Shut up.
Oh, I know you feel bad, but look, Mr. Gower, look. This bottle, you used this bottle to make up the capsules. It's poison.
Poison?
Don't hurt my sore ear again, Mr. Gower.
Oh, George.
That's what in the liver, Mr. Gower. All I wanted was to make sure.
George.
Well, Clarence, that was George Bailey as a boy. When he grew up, he wanted to go to college, but there just wasn't the money. So he worked 4 years in the Building and Loan Association.
Building and Loan Association?
Oh, I forgot to tell you. George's father was in the building and loan business. He and George's uncle, Billy. High ideals and low bank account. Anyway, George worked for his father and saved enough to see him through the university. That summer, though, he was going to Europe. Got a job on a cattle boat. Do a little traveling before college.
Boy, it's hard to realize it. My last night in the Bailey boarding house.
We're sure going to miss you, George.
Oh, I'm going to miss you too, Pop. Hey, what's the matter? You look tired.
Oh, I had another tussle with old Henry Potter today.
I thought when you put him on the board of directors, he'd ease up.
So did I.
I just can't understand a man like Mr. Potter. He can't begin to spend all the money he
I
has.
guess Potter owns about everything he wants in Bedford Falls except our building and loan. That's why he hates us.
Hey, George, can I borrow your tuxedo studs?
Yeah, help yourself, Harry.
Well, where are they, in your suitcase?
I'm not taking a tuxedo on a cattle boat, you know.
Say, where'd you get that suitcase anyway?
Oh, Mr. Gower, going away present. One of these days you're going to see that bag all covered with travel labels. Italy, Baghdad, Samarkand.
Could have a pretty full summer, eh?
I'm going to have a pretty full life.
Hey, why don't you come to the dance tonight?
What? I'd be bored to death.
Well, you couldn't want a better death. Lots of pretty girls. Hey, I got to hurry.
I wish we could send Harry to college with you, George.
No, we've got that all figured out now, Pop. He'll take over my job at the building and loan and work 4 years like I did, and then he'll go.
Well, he's pretty young for that job.
Well, no younger than I was.
Maybe you were born older, George.
Huh?
George, when you get out of college, I don't suppose you'd come back to the building and loan.
Oh, Pop, I just couldn't. I couldn't face being cooped up the rest of my life in a shabby little office. I'm sorry, Pop. Now, I didn't mean that, but it's just this business of nickels and dimes. I'd go crazy. I want to do something big, something important.
In a small way, we are doing something important, George. In that shabby little office, we help people figure out how they can own their own homes.
I know, Pop. I just wish I felt that but I just feel like if I didn't get away, I'd bust.
You're right, boy. You get yourself an education, then get out of here.
Oh, Pop, you want a shock? I think you're a pretty great guy.
Well, thanks, George. I'm glad to hear it. Look, why don't you go on over to Harry's dance? You'd have a good time.
Well, I don't know. Maybe it will drop in. Yeah, maybe it will at that.
So, George Bailey went to a dance. Is that important, Joseph?
It was at the dance he met Mary Hatch.
Oh.
And 3 hours later, he was walking her home. George and Mary were feeling pretty good, Clarence. As a matter of fact, wonderful.
Buffalo girl, can't you come out tonight? Can't you come out tonight? Can't you come out tonight? Buffalo girl, can't you come out tonight? And dance by the light of the moon.
hot dog. Oh, boy, just like an organ.
At
Gee
least.
whiz. Hey, you know something? If it wasn't me talking, I'd say you were the prettiest girl in town.
Well, why don't you say it?
Well, I don't know. Maybe I will. Hey, how old are you anyway?
18.
18?
Too young or too old?
No, it's just right. It sort of fits you. Hey, look where we are.
Oh, the old Granville house.
Yeah, I gotta throw a rock.
Oh, no, George. I love that old house.
Well, no, don't you know about deserted houses? You make a wish and then throw a rock.
George, but it was such a lovely old place. I wish I lived there.
In there? I wouldn't live in it as a ghost. Now, watch. What's this? Here we go. How about it, huh? Pretty good shot, huh? Broke a window, huh?
What'd you wish, George?
Oh, I don't know. Not just one wish, a whole hatful. Mary, I'm shaking the dust of this crummy little town off my feet, and I'm going to see the world. Italy, Greece, the Parthenon, the Colosseum. And then I'm coming back here and go to college and see what they know. And then I'm going to build things. I'm going to build airfields and skyscrapers 100 stories high and bridges a mile long. And then I'm going to... Hey, Mary. What is it you want? What do you want, huh? You want the moon? All you got to do is just say the word now.
Okay, the moon, I'll take it. Then what?
Then what? Well, then you could swallow it. And it'd dissolve like an aspirin, you know. And the moonbeams would shoot out of your fingers and the ends of your hair. And you think I'm talking too much?
Yes, why don't you kiss her instead of talking her to death?
How's that?
Youth is wasted on the wrong people.
Why, hey, just a minute, mister. Hey, you come back here. I'll show you some kissing if you want it.
George!
Hey, Uncle Billy, look here. I'm going to kiss Mary. Watch.
George, get in the car quick. Your father's had a stroke.
What?
George, get in, hurry.
Well, George's father died that night, Terence. So, of course, George couldn't go to Europe. But that fall, just as he was ready to leave for college, the directors of the building and loan had a meeting. They were going to appoint a successor to Mr.
What was that you said, Mr. Potter?
I said as long as Peter Bailey's dead, let's dissolve the building and loan. We don't need it.
No, wait a minute.
Oh, you wait a minute. Peter Bailey was not a businessman. Ideals without common sense can ruin a town. What do we get? A discontented, lazy rabble instead of a thrifty working class. I meant no disrespect, George, but...
Oh, wait a minute here. Why my father ever started this cheap penny ante building and loan, I'll never know. But just remember this, Mr. Potter, this rabble you're talking about, they do most of the working and the paying and living and dying in this community. Well, is it too much to have them work and pay and live and die in a couple of decent rooms and a bath? Anyway, my father didn't think so. People were human beings to him. But to you, a warped, frustrated old man, they're cattle. Well, in my book, Mr. Potter, he died a much richer man than you'll ever be.
I'm not interested in your book, George. I'm talking about the building and loan.
You're talking about something you can't get your fingers on that's galling. That's what you're talking about. Well, this town needs this measly one-horse institution, if only to have some place where people can borrow a few dollars without crawling to you. Now, come on, Uncle Billy.
What happened, George?
Yeah, all we heard was a lot of yelling.
Boy, oh boy, you should have heard George.
Yeah, they're in there voting us out of business.
Oh, who cares? I can get another job. I'm only 41.
45. Well, you get out of here, George. You missed your boat trip. Do you want to miss college, too?
George, we've just voted Potter down. We're still in business.
Whoopee! We're still in business. We're still in business.
But there's one condition, George. They've appointed you to take your father's place.
Appoint me, but I'm going to college. Look, this is my last chance. Uncle Billy's your man.
George, you've got to take it. They'll vote with Potter otherwise. They said so. They even...
I know George Bailey didn't go to college.
That's right, Terence. He gave his college money to Harry. Harry went and stayed.
But what happened to that good-looking girl, you know, Mary?
Oh, George saw her now and then. Not very often, though, because Mary went away to school, too. Anyway, George waited 4 years more for Harry to come back and take over the building and loan. He could still see the world. He planned to work in the oil fields, Venezuela. Except when Harry came home, he wasn't alone. There was a girl with him, his wife.
George?
Yeah, I'm out here on the porch, Mother. I just thought I'd get some air.
Well, how do you like your new sister-in-law?
Oh, she's swell.
Looks like she can keep Harry on his toes.
Yeah, I keep him out of Bedford Falls anyway.
What do you mean?
Well, Ruth's father, he's got a wonderful job for Harry up in Buffalo.
Buffalo? Well, that means you...
Yeah.
You can't...
Yeah.
George,
Did you know Mary Hatch is back from school?
Yeah.
Nice girl, Mary.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, stop grunting. Give me one good reason why you shouldn't call on Mary.
Well, Sam Wainwright. Sam's crazy about Mary.
Well, she's not crazy about him.
Well, now, how do you know that? Did she discuss it with you?
Besides, Sam's away in New York.
Oh, and all's fair in love and war. I see. Okay, Mother. I think I'll go out and find that girl and do a little passionate necking.
Oh, George.
Bye, Miss Bailey. By the way, do you want any books at the library?
Library? George! George, you go and see Mary. Do you hear?
George, is that you out there?
Oh, hello, Mary.
Well, are you coming in?
I just happened to be passing by here.
Oh, I thought you were picketing. Have you made up your mind?
How's that?
Have you made up your mind?
About what?
About coming in. Your mother just phoned. She said you were coming over.
My mother just wanted... What does she mean, Carla? I just happened to be passing by, that's all. I didn't...
Well?
I'll come in for a minute, but I didn't tell anybody I was coming here. You fella can't go out for a walk nowadays without you. When'd you get back?
Tuesday.
Where'd you get that dress?
Do you like it?
It's all right.
Well, no point standing here on the porch. Come on in.
I still can't understand it. I didn't tell anybody I was coming here, you know.
Would you rather leave?
Well, no, I don't want to be rude. Sit down for a while.
It's nice about your brother and Ruth, isn't it?
Yeah. That's all right.
Don't you like her?
Well, of course I like her. She's a peach.
Oh, just marriage in general you're not enthusiastic about,
No. Marriage is all right for a lot of people. It's all right for Harry and Sam Wainwright and you.
For Sam?
Mary?
It's George Bailey, Mother.
What's he want?
I don't know. What do you want?
Me? Not a thing. Not a thing, and I just came in to get warm.
He's making violent love to me, Mother.
You just tell him to go right back home. Sam said he'd call you tonight from New York, didn't he?
I guess so. How about some music?
Your mother needs it. I didn't come here to...
What did you come here for, then?
I don't know. You're supposed to be the one with all the answers. You tell me.
Oh, why don't you go home?
I don't know why I came here in the first place. Good night.
Good night.
Okay, the way you're shouting, you think that...
You think what? All right, I'll get it. George, on your way out, would you mind turning off the phonograph?
I'd be very happy to. That crazy song.
Hello? Sam?
Mary, gee, it's good to hear your voice.
How are you, Sam?
I forgot my hat.
Hee-haw.
What?
Oh, I was just talking to an old friend of yours, George Bailey.
Oh, Mossback George?
Oh, Mossback George.
Well, put him on. I'll talk to him, too.
Wait a second. George.
He doesn't want to speak to George.
He does so. He asked for him.
Why'd you call me? Because if I'm in a hurry.
Sam wants to talk to you.
Oh. Hiya, Sam.
Hey, fine pal you are, trying to steal my girl.
Oh, what do you mean? Nobody's trying to steal anybody's girl. Here, Mary, take that.
No, wait, George. I want to speak to you both. Tell Mary to get the extension upstairs.
He says for you to get on the extension upstairs.
I can't. Mother's on the extension. we can both hear George.
You're not going to trick me. And Mary.
George.
Mary. Oh, Mary, darling, I love you, Mary.
Well. So George Bailey and Mary Hatch were...
Yes, George and Mary were married. And they started off on their honeymoon in Ernie Bishop's taxicab.
Hey, where are you two going on this here now honeymoon?
We're going to shoot the works, Ernie. A whole week in New York, a whole week in Bermuda, the highest hotel, the oldest champagne, the hottest music, and the prettiest wife.
So you're finally getting out of Bedford Falls, huh? Then what?
Then what, honey?
After that, who cares?
That doesn't. Hey, Mrs. Bailey, I haven't kissed you.
Hey, George, there's something funny going on over there. Look over there at the bank. It looks like a run.
All right. Pull over a minute, will you, Ernie?
George, let's not stop. Please, let's go straight to the
Now, wait a minute. I'll better see what it is. I'll be right back.
George, please. George!
In a few moments, we'll return with the second act of It's a Wonderful Life, starring James Stewart, Donna Reed, and Victor Moore. Meanwhile, here's our Hollywood reporter, Libby Collins. Looking very smart, too, may I say.
Well, thank you, Mr. Keeley.
Okay, this is where they get to an intermission. This is A Wonderful Life. Next up is going to be, I'll just have to add it here also, is going to be Little Town of Bethlehem. If I can find it, I think that's what it's called. Yeah, Oh, Little Town of Bethlehem. And I may also play depending if people want to stay, I may also play the story of Silent Night. So, yeah, that's the playlist. I don't know if you can see it. What we've played so far is A Daddy for Christmas and Blondie and Dagwood, A Christmas Carol and A Christmas Carol. So yeah.
Well, after seeing Paulette Goddard's wardrobe for Paramount's new comedy, Suddenly It's Spring, I just had to rush out and buy something new. Looking at all those lovely clothes was just too much for my self-control.
Well, you look stunning, Libby.
Oh, thank you again, Mr. Keeley.
Now tell me about the picture. I understand that Paulette's portrayal of an ex-WAC is truly delightful.
Oh, yes, it is. And Fred McMurray gives a perfect characterization of her wayward husband. Between the two of them, Suddenly It's Spring is a high-spirited comedy with emphasis on the romantic side.
Well, naturally.
But really, Mr. Keeley, that wardrobe of Miss Goddard certainly will make clothes-conscious girls sit up and take notice. I'll bet you think so, too, Mr. Kennedy.
Well, Libby, men seldom know much about styles. Well, what I notice about a dress is the general effect when a woman wears it. Some girls always seem to have that right on the beam look. You know what I mean.
Well, I think what you have in mind, Mr. Kennedy, is good grooming. Screen stars certainly put great emphasis on it. A perfect hairdo, fresh, beautifully cared-for skin. Those are essentials.
That must be the reason Lux Toilet Soap continues to be a studio standby, no matter how often other styles change.
Well, that's what Miss Goddard told me. She says her beauty facials are so quick and easy and work so well. She's never without a supply of Lux Toilet Soap. I can depend on it for daily complexion care, she said.
I wish you'd tell the ladies in our audience how easy these Lux Soap facials are, Libby.
Well, here's what Paulette Goddard does. She says, I cover my face with the fragrant Lux Soap lather and work it well in. I rinse with warm water, then cold, and use a soft towel to pat my skin dry. Gives skin quick new beauty, she says.
Daily Lux Soap facials do make skin lovelier. Recent tests by skin specialists proved it. In 3 out of 4 cases, complexions became softer and smoother in just a short time.
A lovely Lux complexion makes a woman so attractive. I wish every girl who hasn't tried Lux Toilet Soap would begin using it tomorrow.
That's sound advice, Libby. When 9 out of 10 screen stars recommend a beauty soap, you know it has to be good. So why not try Lux Toilet Soap, Hollywood's own complexion soap? We pause now for station identification. This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
Act 2 of It's a Wonderful Life, starring Jimmy Stewart as George, Donna Reed as Mary, and Victor Moore as Clarence. Well, we're back in heaven again, where the superintendent of angels is reviewing the case history of a mortal named George Bailey. Clarence, the apprentice angel, is very eager to depart on his mission to the earth.
Poor George Bailey. Oh, he's certainly in desperate trouble, Joseph. I'll go to him at once.
Now, you sit down, Travis. Sit down. We're nowhere near the point where George Bailey's thinking of taking his life.
We're not?
Now, where were we? Yes. George and Mary had just started out on their honeymoon when they ran smack into the financial panic of 1932. In the waiting room of the building and loan, 100 frantic people were clamoring for their safety.
Hey, what's going on, Uncle Billy? What's happened? All those people out there.
This is a pickle, George. All I know is the bank called our loan an hour ago. I had to hand over all our cash.
Holy mackerel.
Whole town's gone crazy. Bank's in the same spot we are.
Our charter.
What about our charter?
Our charter says we have to stay open until 6 p.m. The state can take away our license if we don't.
How can we stay open till 6 without any money? George, where are you going?
I'll have to talk to those people. Come on. Now, please. Please, folks. Now, just a minute. Just a minute. Now, please.
How about our money, George? Where's our money?
Well, come on, now, please. Well, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Now, listen to me. Now, you're thinking of this place all wrong. Your money's not here. Wait a minute. Now, let me tell you. Let me tell you, your money's in people's houses. In the Kennedy house, and the McLaren house, and in your house, and 100 others. Now, what are you going to do? Foreclose on them?
I got $240 in shares. Now, let me have it.
All right. All right, Charlie. Now, you'll get your money in 60 days.
60 days?
Well, now, look, that's what you agreed on when you bought your shares.
I got my money!
Old man Pleasant, taking over the bank. He'll pay you 50 cents on every dollar.
Then let's take our shares to Potter. Half is better than nothing.
Now, wait a minute, please, folks. I beg of you not to do this. If Potter gets hold of your shares, he'll be owning this building and loan. He's got the bank, he's got the bus line, he's got the department stores, and now he's after us because he wants to keep you living in his shacks and paying the kind of rent he decides to charge. Now, we can get through this thing all right, but we've got to stick together. We've got to have faith in each other.
My husband's out of work. We need money.
I've got doctor bills to pay.
I can't feed my kids on same.
How much do you need? We still got some money.
Hey, Mary.
Here it is, George. You told me to hold on to it. Would have made a nice honeymoon. Bought furniture, too.
Hey, now, wait a minute, folks. Listen. I got $2,000. All right, Charlie, how much do you need?
$240.
No, Charlie, now listen, just enough to tide you over.
I said $240.
Okay. Uncle Billy, give Charlie $240. All right, Ed. Now, how much just to get by?
Well, $20, I suppose.
Now you're talking. Now, Mrs. Thompson, how about you?
$20 will do me.
Good. $20. Uncle Billy, pay it back when you can now. Pay it back when you can. All right. Who's next?
Look at the clock. Look.
5 seconds, 4 seconds, 3, 2, 1. 6 o'clock. We made it. Lock that door, Eustace, quick. Boy, we're still in business, Uncle Billy. We've even got $2 left.
George, there's a call for you.
Okay, and then call my wife, will you? She's probably over at Mother's.
Mrs. Bailey's on the line.
No, I don't want Miss Bailey. I want my wife, Mrs. Bailey. Mrs. Bailey, that's my wife. That's why. Give me the phone, will you? Hey, Mary, listen, Mary, I'm sorry. Come home. Well, what home? Well, 323 Sycamore. Well, whose home is that? What? Well, Mary, how can I? Well, sure. All right, sure. I'll be there.
Clarence, guess what 323 Sycamore was?
His mother-in-law's house, huh?
Oh, no. Number 323 Sycamore was the old Granville house, the one George threw rocks at and made wishes. Yes, sir, that's where they spent their honeymoon. That's where they started housekeeping. They were still living there 2 years later when old man Potter asked George to stop over at his office.
Sit down, George. Sit down, do. Have a cigar?
Well, thank you, sir.
George, you're a young man, married, making, say, $40 a week at the building and loan. 45. Now, if you were some ordinary yokel, I'd say you were doing fine. But George Bailey is intelligent, ambitious. He hates the building and loan almost as much as I do. He's been dying to get out of town ever since he was born, but he's trapped. Trapped into frittering his life away playing nursemaid to a lot of garlic eaters. Do I paint a correct picture, George, or do I exaggerate?
Well, what's your point, Mr. Potter?
My point is that you're the only man in town who has licked me. George, I want to hire you. Manage my affairs. I'll start you off at $20,000 a year.
$20,000 a year? Hey, you sure you're talking to me? I'm George Bailey. Don't you remember me? The building and loan, remember?
Yes, George Bailey, whose ship has just come in, providing he has sense enough to climb aboard.
Oh, but what about the building and loan?
Confound it, man. I'm offering you a 3-year contract at $20,000 a year. Is it a deal or isn't it?
No. The answer's no, doggone it. If you offered me $1 million to stay around this town and play stooge to you, the answer'd still be no. Now, let me alone. Don't bother.
George, what did Mr. Potter want?
Oh, it's nothing. He just talk. I don't know. It's nothing. Oh, gee. Mary Hatch. Mary, why in the world did you ever marry a guy like me anyway?
To keep from being an old maid.
I was going to see the world. I was going to build things. I was going to give you the moon. What have I given you? What have I given you? Not even a new dress, not for months. Gee whiz, I feel awful.
So do I. Mornings especially.
I could have married Sam Wainwright, anybody else in town.
I didn't want to marry anybody else. I want my baby to look like you.
No, you didn't even have a honeymoon, and I promised you that you what?
My baby.
Hey, Mary, you mean you're on the nest?
Well, Mary had a baby, Clarence, a boy.
You don't say.
And she had another one, a girl.
Well, what do you know?
Night after night, George had come home late from the office. Things weren't good with the building and loan. Potter was really bearing down on him. Then came the war. Mary had another baby by then.
Oh.
But she still had time to help out in USO. Uncle Billy sold war bonds. And George's brother Harry became a real hero. Shot down 15 planes.
But George, what about George?
Well, George was 4F, his bad year. He was an air raid warden. On VE Day, he wept and prayed. On VJ Day, he wept and prayed again.
We're getting pretty close to today, aren't we, sir?
Yes, Clarence. You now know almost everything you have to know about George Bailey, except what happened that finds him down there at this moment, wanting to die.
Well, sir, well?
Well, today's the day before Christmas, Earth time. George is pretty excited.
Hey, Tilly! Eustace! Hey, look at the newspaper. Commander Harry Bailey, decorated by the president. That's my kid brother. The Congressional Medal of Honor. Gosh, George, gosh. What do you think about the 15 Jap planes? And the last one he got was just about to dive into a transport loaded with soldiers. You know what that means? He saved lives, hundreds of lives. Hey, gee, where's Uncle Billy? Huh?
We're going to the bank, George. He's depositing that $8,000.
Good. Who's that in his office there?
It's that man again, the bank examiner.
Oh. Well, good afternoon, Mr. Carter. Hey, Tilly, get the books from Mr. Carter. Will you? You know, that's my brother's picture there, Mr. Carter. He shot down 15 planes, and one of them...
Well, Mr. Henry F. Potter come to the bank to deposit some more loot, eh?
Sure, you old fool.
How do you like the news in the paper, Mr. Potter? Just can't keep those Bailey boys down now, can you?
Let me see that newspaper.
Here, sorry I can't chat, you old thief. Gotta make a deposit. Here you are, Horace. Deposit slip, bank book, and a very Merry Christmas to you.
You too, Mr. Bailey. Say, you've forgotten something, haven't you?
Horace, I've forgotten things all my life. Get a wiggle on, boy.
But, Mr. Bailey, where's the money?
What's that?
You want to make a deposit?
Well, certainly I want.
Well, it's customary to bring the money with you.
It's gone. Where'd I put it? Where'd I put that money?
A terrible thing, Clarence, terrible. Uncle Billy couldn't find the money because the envelope with the $8,000 was folded up in that newspaper he gave to old man Potter.
I just don't know what happened to it, George. I just don't know. $8,000. Uncle Billy, the bank examiner's here, and it's not our money. It belongs to the depositor. George, but what are we going to do? We've traced every step I took. We can't stand here in the street. Are you sure you didn't put that envelope in your coat pocket? I think so. Maybe. Oh, I'm no good to you, George. I'm no good. Now listen to me. Think, will you? Now try and think. I can't think anymore. I can't. Have that money, you silly old fool. You know what this means? It means bankruptcy and scandal and prison. One of us is going to jail. Well, it's not going to be me. Now get out of my way. I'm going home.
George, dear, what's wrong? You haven't said a word since you came home.
Oh, well, that banging on that piano. Does she have to just keep playing that same piece over and over and over and over again?
I have to practice the Christmas party, Daddy.
What is it, dear? Another hectic day.
Yeah, another red letter day for the...
Dad, Murphy's got a brand new car. You should see it.
What's the matter with our car? Isn't it good enough for you?
I'm sorry, Dad. I only...
Run upstairs, Petey. See if Zuzu's all right.
Okay, Mom.
And what do you mean? What to see if Zuzu's all right? What do you mean?
Oh, she caught a little cold coming home from school. She didn't button up her coat.
Well, what is it? What do you mean, just a cold?
George, the doctor said it was nothing serious.
Was the doctor here?
Well, I thought he'd better look at her.
This old drafty house. No wonder we don't all have pneumonia. Might as well be living in a refrigerator. Why do we have to live here in the first place and stay around this measly, crummy old town?
George, what's happened?
Everything's happened. You call this a happy family? Why do we have to have all these kids?
Daddy, how do you spell frankincense?
I don't know how you spell. You ask your mother.
Where are you going?
Upstairs to see Susie.
Hello? Oh, thank you, Mrs. Welch. I'm sure she'll be all right.
Who's that?
Susan's school teacher. What? Oh, yes, the doctor says she'll be fine tomorrow.
Here, give me that phone.
George, please.
Mrs. Welsh? Oh, this is Mr. Bailey. Say, what kind of a teacher are you anyway? What do you mean sending Zuzu home like that, half naked? You realize you probably end up with pneumonia just because of your stupidity? You know, maybe my kids aren't the best dressed kids in town, but at least... Hello. Hello. Janie, will you stop playing that lousy piano? Cut it out. Stop it.
George, for heaven's sake, what's wrong with you?
I'm sorry. Janie, I'm sorry. Mary, I've just got to get out of here.
So that's it, George. You're short $8,000 in your account, eh?
Oh, please, Mr. Potter, I'll pay any sort of a bonus if you still want the building and loan.
You say it was lost. Have you notified the police?
No, sir, I haven't done that yet. Harry's home.
Oh, I come to me. What about your good friend, Sam Wainwright?
I can't get a hold of him. He's in Europe.
What kind of security would I have, George? What collateral?
Yes, sir, I have some life insurance here. $15,000 policy.
What's your equity in it?
$500.
And you want $8,000? You once called me a walk-frustrated old man. Well, what are you but a walk-frustrated young man crawling on your hands and knees for help? Why don't you go to the riffraff you love so well? Ask them for help.
I'll do anything, Mr. Potter, please. Please help me, Miss. My wife and kids.
I'm calling the district attorney. $500. You know something, George? You're worth more dead than you are alive. Now get out of here. Get out.
And all the time, Potter had the $8,000 in his desk drawer. It's still there, Clarence.
But where's George, sir? Where?
Well, he went over to Martini's Cafe. He's had a couple of drinks, Clarence. He's just standing there, sort of in the day.
Oh, God. Oh, God, dear Father in heaven, I'm not a praying man, but if you're up there and you can hear me, please show me the way. I'm at the end of my rope. Show me the way, God.
Mr. Bailey, you all right? Don't drink anymore, Mr. Bailey. Please, you don't feel good.
Bailey. You say Bailey? Which Bailey?
This gentleman is Mr. Bailey, George Bailey.
George Bailey, huh? And the next time you talk to my wife like that, she'll get worse. It isn't enough she slaves teaching you stupid kids how to read and write. You gotta follow
You
up.
get out of here, Mr. Welch. You hit my best friend. Get out.
All right,
Mr. Bailey, you okay?
Who's that?
Mr. Welch, but don't worry. He don't come in this place no more. I'll get something for your face. It's bleeding.
I'm all right.
Please don't go away, Mr. Bailey. Please don't go away.
Well, George left Martini's Cafe 5 minutes ago, Clarence. He's at the river now, on the bridge, looking at the water. Are you ready, Clarence?
All ready, sir.
Very well. Save George Bailey's life, and you'll get your wings.
My wings. Oh, thank you, Joseph. George! George Bailey! Get away from that bridge! You hear me? George!
In just a moment, we'll bring you Act 3 of It's a Wonderful Life, starring Jimmy Stewart, Donna Reed, and Victor Moore. The popular theory about beautiful blondes is that they're content to be merely decorative. Our lovely guest tonight, Miss Susan Blanchard, completely disproves that idea. Besides being a hard-working Fox starlet, Susan, I understand you're a wonderful cook.
I really love housekeeping, Mr. Keeley. But most of all, I enjoy the training I get at the studio. It's work, but it's fun, too.
You're an Easterner, aren't you, Susan?
Yes, a native New Yorker.
I thought so.
It was the Broadway theater that inspired me to think of show business as a career.
Well, that's interesting.
I used to save my allowance and go to every play I could. One of my favorite actresses was Jane Wyatt.
Uh-huh.
Imagine, Mr. Keeley, what a thrill it was for me to meet her right here in Hollywood.
Jane Wyatt's latest picture, Boomerang, was made in the East, I understand.
Yes. But she and Dana Andrews, who stars in Boomerang with her, were in Hollywood to see a studio showing of the picture.
Oh, I see.
Jane Wyatt is my ideal of a stage and screen star. So talented and so lovely to look at. Just as lovely in real life, too.
She is indeed.
It wasn't long before I discovered that she's as keen about Lux toilet soap for beauty care as I am. You know, I'm a Lux girl, too.
We're glad to hear you say that, Miss Blanchard, because that's a very beautiful Lux complexion I see before me. Just right for blue eyes and ash blonde hair.
Thank you, Mr. Kennedy. Any girl in pictures is delighted to find out about Lux toilet soap as a beauty care. Active lather facials are so quick and easy, and they really make a difference in your skin.
Thousands of busy, attractive women have discovered that, Miss Blanchard. Daily Lux Soap Complexion Care does make skin lovelier. Otherwise, it wouldn't be the choice of 9 out of 10 screen stars.
Lux toilet soap is all-around beauty care for me. I use it as a bath soap, too. It has such delightful perfume, leaves a lovely fragrance on the skin.
Thank you, Miss Susan Blanchard. I hope our audience will be seeing that lovely Lux complexion of yours in a screen close-up one of these days. Now, back to our producer, William Keeley.
Act 3 of It's a Wonderful Life, starring Jimmy Stewart, Donna Reed, and Victor Moore. Numb with despair, convinced, as Mr. Potter said, that he's worth more dead than alive, George Bailey stands on a bridge, staring at the dark and frigid waters below. Suddenly, there's a splash. No, that's not George. It's Clarence, the apprentice angel. And there goes George in after him. It's a few minutes later now, and in the bridgekeeper's shack, George and Clarence are drying off.
You both sure you're all right? You want a doctor?
No, I'm all right.
Oh, I'm fine. This underwear, I didn't have time to get anything more stylish. My wife gave me this on my last birthday. I passed away in it.
You what, mister?
I see Tom Sawyer is drying out, too.
Who?
My book. I left in such a hurry, I brought Tom Sawyer with me.
Hey, how'd you happen to fall in?
Oh, I jumped in. I jumped in to save you.
Jumped in to save me?
Well, I did, didn't I? You didn't go through with it, did you?
Go through with what?
Suicide.
Hey, it's against the law to commit suicide around here.
Yeah, it's against the law where I come from, too.
Where do you come from?
Heaven.
Oh, that's very fine.
Your lips bleeding.
Yeah, I got a bust in the jaw in answer to a prayer.
Oh, no, George. I'm the answer to your prayer.
Hey, how'd you know my name?
Oh, I know all about you.
Well, who are you supposed to be, anyway?
Clarence Oddbody, AS2.
Clarence Oddbody. What's the AS2 for?
Angel, second class.
Hey, I'm getting out of here. You may not need a doctor, but I do.
Cheerio, my good man.
Hey, look here. Why'd you want to save me?
Because I'm your guardian angel, George.
Oh, I see. Uh-huh. Well, you look like about the kind of an angel I'd get. What happened to your wings?
Well, I haven't won my wings yet. That's why I'm an angel, second class.
Oh, I see.
But you can help me earn them, George, by letting me help you.
Oh, don't happen to have $8,000 on you, do you?
Oh, no. We don't use money in heaven.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I keep forgetting. Comes in pretty handy down here, bub.
Oh, tut.
Of course, I found it out a little late. You know, I'm worth more dead than alive.
You mustn't talk like that. Joseph will never give me my wings if you keep feeling that way. You just don't realize what you've done for your folks. Why, if it hadn't been for you...
Yes, if it hadn't been for me, everybody would be better off. My wife and my kids and my friends.
Oh, this is not going to be easy.
I'd all be better off if I hadn't been born.
What did you say?
I said I wish I'd never been born.
George, that's wonderful.
Wonderful? What?
The idea you just gave me. Well, you got your wish. You've never been born.
I've never been born?
Exactly. No worries, no $8,000 to get, nothing. You simply don't exist.
All right, okay, all right.
George, I can do things, strange things. I can show you the world, George. The way it would be if you hadn't been born.
Hey, wait a minute. This ear of mine. Hey, say something else in that bad ear.
You don't have a bad ear anymore. Oh, I don't think you're concentrating. Don't you see? You're not the George Bailey you think you are. You're nobody.
That's the doggonest thing I ever saw, that ear.
Your lips stopped bleeding, too.
Yeah. Hey, what's happening around here? What is this, anyway? I need a drink. That's what I need. What about you, Angel? You want a drink?
Well, I don't quite know.
Come on. We'll go as soon as our clothes are dry.
Clothes are dry, George.
Hey, so they are. That's funny. Well, look, let's get dressed and we'll stroll over to Martini's and then, excuse me, I'll stroll. You fly.
Yeah. Oh, no, I don't have my
You don't
wings.
have your wings yet. That's right. I forgot that again. Couple of drinks and we'll both fly, huh?
What'll you have, fellas?
Hey, where's the boss? Where's Martini?
Look, wise guy, I'm the boss, see?
Okay, well, double scotch, quick, will you?
What's yours?
You know what I just love? Some mulled wine.
Huh?
Heavy on the cinnamon and light on the cloves. Off with you, my lad, and lively now.
Now cut it out.
Oh, come on, here. Just give him the same as I ordered. He's okay.
2 double scotch.
What about this place? It's all changed.
All of Bedford Falls has changed. You're having your wish, George. You've never been born. Oh, there'll be lots of things you've never seen. Good. Somebody just made it.
Made what?
Every time a bell rings, it means some angel's got his wings.
What you say?
Look, Clarence, I don't think you better talk about angels around here.
Don't they believe in angels?
Oh, yeah, they believe in them, but it's just...
Well, then why should people be surprised when they see one?
Don't mind him, bartender. He's just a little fella. He just never grew up, man. How old are you anyway, Clarence?
Well, next May, I'll be 293.
That does it. A couple of pixies, huh? Go on, get. You hear me, get.
Where's Martini? Will you
Stop
tell me?
asking about Martini. Ain't hearing it. Hey, you. Rummy. Didn't I tell you never to come panhandling around here?
George, look.
Hey, it's Mr. Gower. Mr. Gower. Listen, Mr. Gower, don't you know me? This is George Bailey.
You buy me a drink, mister? Just one drink, will you, mister?
Pinky! Yeah, Nick. Throw the rummy out.
Oh, no, please.
Hey, bartender, that's Mr. Gower, the druggist.
That rumhead spent 20 years in jail for poisoning some kid. If you knew him, you must be a jailbird yourself. Pinky, here's 2 more. Get him at it.
Get up, George. Good thing he threw us in a snowbank, huh?
Where's Mr. Gower?
Mr. Gower doesn't know you, George. You see, you weren't there to stop him from putting poison into that prescription.
What do you mean I wasn't there? Look, tell me, what are you? Are you a hypnotist?
George.
Look, why am I seeing all these strange things here?
Don't you understand? It's because you were not born.
Well, if I wasn't born, then who am I?
Nobody. You have no identity.
Well, what do you mean I have no identity?
No papers, no driver's license, no 4F card, no insurance policy.
Zuzu's bell.
What?
Zuzu's bell. I bought my little girl a bell to hang on the Christmas tree, and I forgot to give it to her. I've got it in... It's gone. It's gone too. Everything's gone.
But you've been given a great gift, George. A chance to see what the world would be like if you'd never been born.
You're crazy. You're crazy as a bedbug, and you're driving me crazy, too. Now, look, I'm going home to my wife and family. Do you understand that? And I'm going home alone.
Keep following him.
Joseph, I'll stay near him, sir. Poor George. He's seeing Main Street now the way it'd be if he hadn't lived. The thing that's really shocked him, sir, is the building and loan office. Know what's there now? Pawn shop.
What's he doing? Can you see?
He's talking to Ernie Bishop, the taxi driver. He wants to go home.
Mary, where are you? Janie, Petey, Zuzu. Zuzu, where are you?
This is just an old abandoned house, George. You have no wife, no children.
Where are they? What have you done with them?
Hey, I'll face that. See, I told you. All right, up with your hands.
Oh, Bert the cop. Thank heaven you're here.
Now, look, Why don't you be a good fella and I'll take you to a doctor?
Bert, listen to me. What's the matter with you guys? Now, listen, it's that fellow there. He says he's an angel. He tried to hypnotize me.
I hate to use my nightstick, but I guess
Ow! Run, George, run. He can't hit you while I'm fighting him. George, run! My teeth aren't what they used to be. Joseph, help! Joseph!
Where'd they go, Ernie? Where'd they go? I don't know. They just disappeared.
Oh, Joseph, I hope you don't mind my calling on you like I did.
It was very irregular, Clarence. You're by yourself again. Where's George?
He's at his mother's house, sir.
Well, if George hasn't been born, he has no mother.
Oh, he's being very stubborn, sir. He'll just have to find these things out for himself.
But his mother, that's a terribly bitter blow for that. His own mother not knowing him.
You mean I shouldn't have let him...
I mean, you better find him right away. Oh, and stop fighting policemen, Clarence.
I'm here again, George.
My own mother didn't know me. If only Harry were here. My brother were only back from Washington.
Your brother fell through the ice and was drowned at the age of 9.
Well, that's a lie. He got the Congressional Medal of Honor. He saved the lives of every man on that transport.
Every man on that transport died. Strange, isn't it? Each man's life touches so many other lives. Harry wasn't there to save them because you weren't there to save Harry. Don't you see, George? You really had a wonderful life. Don't you see what a mistake it would be to throw it away?
Clarence.
Yes?
Where's Mary? Please, where's my wife?
I'm not supposed to tell.
Tell me where she is.
You're not going to like it, George.
Where is she? I'll choke it out of you if I have to. Where's my wife?
The library. She works there. She's just about to lock up for the night. So George! Come back! Oh, there must be some easier way for me to get my way.
Mary.
I'm sorry, the library's closed.
Mary, it's George. Don't you know me?
No, I don't know you. Let me go.
Mary, please, don't do this to me, Mary. Please, help me. Help me. Where are our kids, Mary? I need you, Mary.
Get
please.
away from me. Help!
Help me, Mary. I'm George. Mary.
Clarence.
Oh, where is he, Joseph? Where's George? I'm afraid I've lost him, sir.
You knew you shouldn't have let him try to see Mary. Now they're after him, a mob. They think he was trying to hurt her.
Joseph, I won't even get one wing, will I?
You have one more chance, Clarence. Get over to the bridge by the river. I think George has seen just about enough.
But the mob...
But don't worry. They've lost him, too. Now, hurry up.
Oh, thank you, Joseph. Thank you.
Clarence, where are you?
I'm here, George.
Help me, Clarence. Get me back. I don't care what happens to me. Only get me back to my wife and kids, please. I want to live again.
Oh, thank you, George. Thank you, boy.
I want to live again, please. Oh, God, please let me live again.
George? Is that you down there, George?
Oh, get out here, Bert. Get out here. You come in any closer, I'll let you have it.
What the hell are you yelling for, George?
Come on. George, Bert, do you know me?
No, yeah, I've been looking all over town for you. Where you been?
Hey, Bert, I'm alive again, Bert.
You sure you're all right? Hey, your mouth's bleeding.
It is. Hey, my mouth's bleeding. Bert, look at the blood come out of there, would you? And where's Zuzu's Christmas bell, Bert? I had it right in my pocket. Here it is! Hey, it's in my pocket! What do you know about it? Hey, Merry Christmas, Bert!
Well, Merry Christmas. Get in the car. I'll drive you home.
You will, Bert? We'll do that and turn the siren wide open, huh? Merry Christmas, Bedford Falls! Hey, Merry Christmas, old building alone! Merry Christmas, Mr. Potter! Yippee! Come on. Hey, Bert, come on in with me, huh? What are these people, these reporters? Hey, Merry Christmas, reporters! Hey, Mr. Bank Examiner, Merry Christmas!
Mr. Bailey, there's a deficit.
I know, $8,000 up that, huh?
George, I've got a little paper here. I'm
Well,
sorry.
I bet it's a warrant for my arrest. Isn't that wonderful? Merry Christmas. Hey, where's Mary, you know? Look at this wonderful old drafty house. Isn't it wonderful? Have you seen my wife? Where's Mary? Mary! Kid! Hey, kid, Janie, Petey! Hey, oh, I could eat you up. Where's your mother?
She went looking for you, Daddy, with Uncle Billy.
Oh,
Daddy.
Zuzu, my little ginger snap. How do you feel, huh?
Fine, Daddy. Not a snitch's temperature.
Not a snitch a temper. Hallelujah!
George, darling. It's Mommy. Mommy's home.
Mary.
George, where have you been?
Mary.
George,
Oh, Mary, now look, just let me touch you. Oh, you're real, Mary. Oh, you've no idea what happened to me.
You've no idea what's happened either. They're on their way here.
Who's on our way? Oh, the police department? The FBI, the National Guard? I'm alive again. Oh, listen, Mary, I'm alive again.
Oh, yes, darling, yes. Now, close your eyes and come on down.
What is it? Can't open my eyes yet, Mary? What's going on here?
Now, keep your eyes closed. Now, I'll just walk you over here by the Christmas tree and...
Well, the people, I hear lots of people. What is it? Lots of people.
Just 1 minute now. We're all ready, Uncle Billy. Come in, everybody.
George, look! Just look!
Uncle Billy!
Money, George, a laundry basket filled with money. Money for you. Mary did it, George. Mary!
I don't understand. What money? What...
People heard you in trouble, darling. These people, your friends, they've collected this money for you. The $8,000.
Charlie. Hey, there's Martini. Mr. Gower. Hey, how are you, Mr. Gower? Mrs. Thompson, Ed, Tom, everybody.
None of us would have a roof over our heads if it wasn't for you, George.
Gosh, this is wonderful. Hey, Mary, look who's coming in. Mother. Hi, Mother. Hey, and Harry.
Got Mary's telegram, George.
I flew in as fast as I could.
Hey, everybody, a toast. How about a toast?
Oh, good idea, Ernie.
A toast to my big brother, George, the richest man in town.
Daddy, my Christmas here. You didn't forget.
Yes? Here, honey. Here's your bill.
Daddy. Darling, what's this on the table here? This is for?
The Adventures of Tom Sawyer.
Look, there's something written in it.
Dear George, remember no man is a failure who has friends. Thanks for the wing. Love, Clarence.
Clarence?
Yeah, he's a very dear friend of mine.
Daddy, Mrs. Wells says every time a bell rings, an angel gets his wings.
That's right, Zuzu. That's right. That's right. Attaboy, Clarence. Attaboy, Clarence. Happy landing.
It's a wonderful life so long as we can have such fine performances as we enjoyed tonight. From Jimmy Stewart, Donna Reed, and Victor Moore. Jimmy, I'd like to thank whatever guardian angel whisked you back from Texas for our show this evening.
Well, that guardian angel was an airline wing, Bill.
You were in Texas for the premiere of this picture, weren't you, Jimmy?
Yeah, Frank Capra and I went down for 5 openings, many nights. Pretty good
All
down
of
there in
them
Texas,
Texas,
yeah.
Jimmy?
Yeah, every one of them. There are 5 premieres over Texas. You know, it's a pretty big state. Takes that many to do it.
Jimmy, I'm sure your fans were proud to read that you received an honorary degree from Princeton just the other week.
Yes, how about that, Jimmy? Do we call you professor now?
No. It's just an M.A.
Master of Arts?
Well, it might have been. I don't know. It might be for murdering architecture. That's what I studied.
Well, you know, Donna has an honorary degree to her credit, too. LLC.
What's that, Bill?
LLC? Well, you can see for yourself. A lovely Lux complexion.
Well, thank you, Bill. Or rather, thank Lux Toilet Soap. It's a wonderful complexion care. I use it faithfully.
With wonderful results, I see.
What's happening next Monday night on Lux, Bill?
Next week, we have another of the season's most successful films. It's 20th Century Fox's thrilling screen hit, Leave Her to Heaven, with lovely Gene Tierney, and a star who appears in answer to literally hundreds of requests. Cornell Wilde. Based on the best-selling novel of the same name, Leave Her to Heaven is the strange, dramatic story of a woman whose twisted mind and fiendish jealousy drive her to any lengths to hold the man she loves.
Now, that ought to make great listening, Bill.
I wouldn't miss it for anything. Good night.
Good night, and thanks a million. Lever Brothers Company, the makers of Lux Toilet Soap, join me in inviting you to be with us again next Monday evening when the Lux Radio Theater presents Gene Tierney and Cornell Wilde in Leave Her to Heaven. This is William Keighley saying good night to you from Hollywood.
Here's a sure way to save on your meat and grocery bills. Turn in used fats, kitchen fats to your butcher and receive a generous price for every pound. The worldwide supply of fats is still desperately short, and every drop you save helps in the making of soap, refrigerators, and other needed items. So
Hey
save
guys,
and turn in your
next we
used
have
kitchen fats.
Little Town
Donna
of
Reed
Bethlehem,
appeared through the courtesy of Metro Goldwyn Mayer,
followed by the
producers of The
story of
Beginning or the
Solomon.
End, starring Brian Donlevy and Robert Walker. James Stewart will soon be seen in the Robert Riskin production for RKO, Magic Town. Victor Moore will soon be seen in Roy Del Ruth's production, It Happened on Fifth Avenue. Our music was directed by Louis Silvers. This program is broadcast to our men and women overseas through cooperation with the Armed Forces Radio Service. And this is your announcer, John Milton Kennedy, reminding you to tune in again next Monday night to hear Leave Her to Heaven with Gene Tierney and Cornell Wilde.
Fry.
When you bake and fry,
Fry.
or you cake and pie,
Fry.
it's your shortening by.
Rely on Fry. Want fried foods crisp, golden, better tasting? Try Spry, the pure vegetable shortening that gives you delicious, better tasting fried foods. So digestible, too, the Spry way.
Also get Spry for all your fried foods.
Rely on Spry.
S-P-R-Y.
S-P-R-Y.
Be sure to listen in again next Monday night to hear the Lux Radio Theater presentation of Leave Her to Heaven. Monday night.
Play.automatic.com and click on my tip jar.
Campana's First Nighter program. From the Little Theater off Times Square. Starring Barbara Lotti and Olin Soule with an all-star cast. And sent you by Campana, the quality name in cosmetics. Theater time. And tonight, just ahead of Christmas, the Little Theater off Times Square is delighted to comply with the request of thousands of its friends from coast to coast by offering for the 9th time the now famous Christmas play, Little has become an occasion of deep spiritual significance. A time when whole families, young and old, gather at the radio set to enjoy the inspiration for the evening, Mr. First Nighter.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm delighted that you can be with us tonight for the most celebrated performance of the year in the Little Theater. My cab is waiting. Won't you join me? All right, driver.
Hey there, read all about it.
Up Broadway and across 42nd Street. Yes, the Great White Way looks like one big, dazzling Christmas tree tonight. And out just ahead is the Little Theater off Times Square.
Have your tickets ready, please. Have your tickets ready, please.
Good evening, Mr. First Nighter. The usher will show you to your seat.
Thank you. We'll go right in. Tonight, the sponsor of the First Nighter program, Campana Sales Company, together with all of their employees, wish to contribute to your enjoyment of the first Peace Christmas since 1940 by the presentation of the sacred story of the birth of Christ in a manger in Bethlehem. We enter eagerly into the opportunity of offering you this evening the Christmas play, Little Town of Bethlehem, by Anthony Wayne. In tonight's performance, Barbara Lotti will play the part of Mary, the part of Joseph will be played by Olin Soule. An all-star supporting cast, including Sidney Elstrom, Hugh Studebaker, Herbert Butterfield, Willard Waterman, and Philip Lord, will portray the other characters. Since tonight's performance will be interrupted only by music between the acts, here is Mr. Billsbury with a special Yuletide greeting.
Thank you and good evening. It is appropriate, I think, and it is heartfelt, too, this greeting I want to convey to you. It comes from Campana Sales Company, the sponsor, and all of their employees. They join together this evening in wishing you a very Merry Christmas. And they want to express with warm gratitude their appreciation of your loyalty to them during the past year. You and your friends all over the United States and Canada have chosen and used Campana products in ever-increasing quantities. And we cannot let this year-end pass by without saying thank you. During the past year, there became available again some of the ingredients which, for a long time, had been dedicated wholly to the war effort. As a result, we've been able to again stock the stores nationwide with what many women call their favorite wintertime hand lotion, rich, concentrated, original Campana Balm. We're delighted, as we know you are, that this famous cold weather lotion could be reinstated on the toilet's goods counters in time for the winter weather this year. If by chance you've not been aware that original Campana Balm is back in circulation again, just ask for it in its sparkling green and white carton at your nearest store. During 1945, we've made countless friends also with the famous Solitaire Cake Makeup. Solitaire Cake Makeup contains lanolin, and more women every day are discovering the sure, smooth complexion beauty that Solitaire gives them so easily, so quickly, and hour after hour without redoing. In the more recent months just past, countless friends have written us their compliments about the new and exciting Solitaire Fashion Point lipstick, the lip-shaped lipstick, the only stick with a point that is shaped to fit your lips. Such acceptance is more than gratifying to all the workers at Campana, because we all have a very real pride in producing for you the very finest beauty aids that our hands can fashion. And now, may your Christmas be the merriest on record, and your new year brighter than ever before.
The lights are out, and the curtain rises on the first act of Little Town of Bethlehem.
What is your name? Josiah, son of Obed, son of Ather, the son of Zacharias, the son of... Oh, Caesar does not ask who your ancestors were. Give me only your name. Josiah of Bethlehem. The name of your wife? Leah. Your trade and the number of your children. I am a shepherd with 7 children. My flock's in the hills nearby, and Enough. How much property do you own? My house and 50 sheep. That is all. Who is the next? And what is your name?
Joseph, the son of Jacob, the son of Matan, the son of Eliezer.
Hold. Must every Jew who registers recite his lineage to me? Did you not hear me say that all I wanted was your name?
But I am descended from the kings of Judea, from the great King David.
I know. So is everyone in Bethlehem. But the Roman emperor cares nothing about that. This is a Roman census.
I'm sorry.
I could have been through the enrollment by now if you Jews were not so garrulous. Come, is this your wife?
My name is Mary. I, too, am of the line of David.
Your voice sounds tired. Have you come far?
From the town of Nazareth in Galilee.
Sit down on that bench and rest a moment.
Thank you.
Now, Joseph, what is your trade, how many children, and how much property?
I am a carpenter. I have no property except my tools and the animal on which my wife is ridden from Nazareth. There are no children, as yet.
Very well. That is all.
Pardon, my lord, but we have no place to sleep. There was no room at the inn. Can you help me?
The town is filled with those who return for the enrollment. I can do nothing. Oh, wait. Do you see that man talking with the soldier at the roadside? That is Simon, a rich merchant. He has a large house. He may have room for you.
Thank you. Come, Mary.
You have found a place for us to rest?
We will ask for a place to rest. Pardon, sir. You are the merchant, Simon?
Yes. What do you want?
I am Joseph of Nazareth, and this is my wife, Mary. The Roman governor said you might have some room in your house where we could sleep.
I have no room. The governor and his men are staying with me.
If you only had some small corner where we could rest.
My wife is very weary, sir.
I have said that my house is filled. You may sleep in the stable if you wish. That is all I can do for you.
The stable?
Let us go there, Joseph. We have tried so many places.
A stable, Mary? It is not what I would like.
We must be content. Lift me up to the saddle. There. If you lead the way, the little beast.
Oh, Simon. I'm tired of listening to this babble. Claudius, take my place here. I'm going to rest.
Taking the census is an exhausting task, my lord.
Everyone in Judea must spring from Bethlehem. People have been pouring into the town all day.
Bethlehem is the city of David.
And everyone who is registered here claims descent from him.
That is true. And the dream of every mother of David's line is that she will bear the king of Micah's prophecy.
Micah's prophecy?
Have you never heard it? But thou, Bethlehem, though thou be little among the thousands of Judea, yet out of thee shall come forth he that is to be ruler in Israel.
Oh, so that's the prophecy, huh? You're all waiting for this new king.
Many believe he will come, my lord.
And you, Simon? What about you? Do you believe it?
I? Oh, it is rather the shepherds who talk.
I see. You're very careful, Simon. Perhaps you fear Herod, your king.
Herod despises the prophecy of Micah. He hates Bethlehem.
It would be well to keep this legend from him. But tell me about the carpenter and his wife from Nazareth. Did they find lodging?
I offered them my stable.
Your stable? Was there no room in your house?
The stable is good enough for such as they. My house is kept for Romans, my lord.
Oh, it's little wonder, Simon, that you were a rich and powerful man in Bethlehem. You have all the necessary qualities.
Thank you. If you are ready now to go to my house.
Oh, not yet. The enrollment will be going on far into the night. Oh, this town of Bethlehem is really beautiful, Simon.
Ah, my lord, in the days of David, Bethlehem was great.
One can see that. But the sons of David are not the warriors that he was. These crumbling walls, broken battlements. And yet you believe that your next king will come from here.
That, as I have told you, is but the tale of shepherds. A Roman soldier need not. Hark! Some nobleman is at the city gate. Who can it be?
We shall soon see.
Make way for King Herod! It is King Herod. King Herod has come to Bethlehem. I shall have a king, the ruler of Judea, as my guest tonight. Oh, I am the proudest man in the world.
The curtain comes down on the first act of the little town of Here's the second act of tonight's play.
Here, Mary. We can clear out this little space and be comfortable. Let me spread the blanket for you.
You are so good to me, Joseph.
You're tired, Mary. There. Now lie down.
Could you not bring the beast in out of the cold?
It is cold. But it is a clear, still night, Mary. Everything is peaceful. And there's a wonderful star over the courtyard. Can you see it through the open door?
Yes, I can see it. All the others are a white mist. Is it standing still? It seems to stand still.
away, make way. Stand aside.
What is that, Joseph?
Just someone bringing horses into the stable.
To the merchant himself, Joseph. He is leading the horses over here.
I pray, sir, you're frightening my wife.
Oh, the man from there. Sorry, but you will have to move. King Herod honors my house tonight. These are the horses of his wife.
King Herod?
But his horses must have the best stall.
But what are we to do? My wife.
All my life I prayed that I might be honored by a visit from the king.
Surely you would not turn us out.
Move down to the other end of the stable. That stall where you see a manger. You can sleep there.
That will do, Joseph. Let us move.
Sorry, Mary. I seem able to do so little for you.
It does not matter. I am supremely happy.
I wish I had a better place to offer you, but one does not often have a visit from a king. He is at supper now with the Roman governor. I must go back to him.
That is true, Simon. One does not often have a visit from the king.
I regret to hear that you have so few about you whom you can trust, King Herod. There is no man whom a king can trust, Quirinius. Those whom I have loved most dearly have betrayed me. My wife, one of my sons plotted against me. That is very sad. And paid with their heads. Now my youngest son, him who I trusted above all others, has turned against me. And he, too, has paid with his head?
Not yet. I have but to reach the ear of Caesar.
I see.
You understand me, Quirinius. Let me tell you this. Great Caesar has no more faithful friend in all Judea than I, Herod.
I'm sure of that.
Bend close, Quirinius. There is something I would say to you. I suspect there may be treason brewing here in Bethlehem. These men have a myth about their descent from David. They plot continually for a new king, a Messiah who will come out of Bethlehem.
I've heard the prophecy.
But don't you see they're plotting against me?
It amounts to little. They've been talking of this for hundreds of years.
I am not so sure. When I called the scribes of the people together and asked them where this child was to be born, they said, in Bethlehem.
Is that why you have come to Bethlehem tonight?
Perhaps. And perhaps I shall stay longer than a night, just to make sure these Jews are not plotting. What is that babble outside?
Probably some of your Greek mercenaries gambling with my men.
Simon! Simon! Where are you?
I am here, O king.
Then quiet those brawlers in your courtyard.
I shall do so at once. Quiet! Quiet for the king! This Roman soldier does not understand us, Simon. I know your faces. You are shepherds from the hills. What do you want? We bring tidings of great joy, Simon. As we watched our flocks in the fields tonight, an angel of the Lord stood beside us. Speak softly. And a bright light shone around us so that we were afraid. But the angel said, Fear not. I bring you good news, which shall be a joy to all people. For there is born in Bethlehem a Savior. You are mad. You want us all put to the sword? And this shall be a sign to you. You will find the child wrapped in swaddling clothes and lying in a manger. In a manger? And there was a song in the air. A heavenly throng, Simon, singing. Silence! You are mad. Would the king of Micah's prophecy be born in a manger? But we spoke with an angel of the Lord. You must forget what happened. Go back to your flocks. There is no king born in a manger. Only a carpenter and his wife from Nazareth are resting in the stable. We have come to worship the newborn Messiah. Be off! There is no king but Herod. And if Herod should hear you, it would go hard with all the men of Bethlehem. Be off! Off!
Ah, Simon. Who are your visitors?
Oh, Quirinius, is it you? You followed me?
Only to help you if my help were needed. Who were those men?
Just shepherds. Moon-crazed shepherds. They told a wild tale of hearing angel voices.
I thought I heard them speak of a Messiah. And how does it go? But thou, Bethlehem, out of thee shall come he that is to be ruler in Israel?
My lord is pleased to jest, but I pray you will not speak of this. I am so afraid of the king. My lord, I beg you not to speak of it to Herod.
I think Herod has already heard.
And the curtain comes down on the second act of tonight's play. Here is the last act of Little Town of Bethlehem.
Let's go, Simon. I must ask you. Those shepherds, you are sure they were not conspirators in disguise? No, King. They were only shepherds. Word has been brought me that they sought the King of Israel. They said that as they tended their flocks that night, an angel appeared to announce that the King honored Bethlehem by his presence. An angel announced my presence, sir? Did you hear that, Quirinius? Good omen, is it not?
It may, perhaps, mean much to your kingdom.
Oh, Judea knows your greatness, O King. But why? Simon, why did you not bring them to me, then? They were but rough men, with the smell of their flocks about them. I did not want to disturb you when you were feasting. I see. You are sure it was I they sought? There was no talk of the ruler of Israel who is to come out of Bethlehem?
Surely your majesty does not believe that fantastic prophecy.
I am wary of everything, Quirinius. Today, 3 astrologers from the east came to me and asked for the newborn king of the Jews. They had seen his star rise in the east, they said, and followed it here. You remember the shepherd spoke of that star?
It is only the old legend.
Perhaps. I told the wise men to look diligently for the child and to send me word when they had found him, so that I too might do him homage. Homage. I would put him to death. I would kill him if I had to make away with all the boys under 2 years old in Bethlehem.
Spoken like a king, O Herod. But now, if you'll permit me, I'll go to bed. 9 days of feasting find me weary, and tomorrow there's much to do. Good night.
You move on to Jerusalem tomorrow, Quirinius?
Yes. Will you honor me with your company?
We shall ride together.
I thank you. Good night.
Are you resting, Mary? You're quiet.
I think of the shepherds, Joseph. I want to treasure up all they said and ponder it. David's throne and endless reign. The old prophecy coming from their lips. I am the happiest woman in the world tonight.
He is the most beautiful baby in the world tonight, Mary.
He is faintly. See the even flow of his breath, Joseph. You feel a mingled joy and terror watching it. The joy of life and the terror of death.
Do not speak of death.
Joseph, you're troubled. You're frightened. What is it?
It is Herod, feasting there in Simon's house these past days. I had a dream. An angel of the Lord came to me and said, "Arise, take the child and his mother and flee into Egypt, for Herod will look for the child in order to kill him."
Joseph, what is that?
I do not know. Shh, quiet.
We seek a babe wrapped in swaddling clothes, the Christ Jesus.
How did you know his name? Who are you?
We are three kings from the east. We have followed his star and ridden fast to find and worship the King of the Jews. The star stood still over Bethlehem.
So it is written by the prophet. Come, wise men, here is the child.
The child who shall be king of the world. His goings forth have been from old, from everlasting. We shall tread upon the high places of the earth.
Joseph, do you hear what they say?
Yes, Mary. Let us lay down our gifts before him.
Caskets of gold.
Gold as tribute to a king. Frankincense for the priest. And myrrh for the body's buried. We must make haste and ride away. We have been warned in a dream to return to our own country, lest Herod destroy us.
You hear what he says, Mary. Even as we were warned to flee into Egypt, lest Herod seek the child to destroy him. It is close to morning. Are you equal to leaving at once?
Yes, let us go. We must not think of ourselves, only of him. Let us go without delay.
Herod is sleeping now. If you would escape this malice and hatred,
we will wait for you at the city gate.
I have the animal ready, Mary. Come, let me lift you up. There. And put the child in your arms.
Wait, Joseph. That man outside.
The Roman governor.
Ah, man of Nazareth. You were leaving before dawn?
We have obeyed the decree of Caesar Augustus and enrolled. We must now return. We have a long journey before us.
Yes, a long journey. I did not mean to disturb you. I was restless and could not sleep. Oh, what have we here? So, a new little carpenter.
Yes, a new little carpenter.
And, like every Jew, I suppose you dream that he will be the prophesied ruler of Israel?
We have great expectations.
Well, after a stay in this city, listening to your prophecies and visions, I only wonder that a new king has not been born. What faith you Jews have.
You have no fear of our faith? Like Herod?
Romans are soldiers. You Jews dream too much. But go your way, good carpenter. I even hope, perhaps, that your son may be the long-awaited leader of Israel.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we ring down the curtain on our Christmas play in the little theater off Times Square. The audience has responded to the spirit of reverence with which our talented players have portrayed their roles. If you like tonight's performance, a letter from you would be appreciated. Now, the members of the First Nighter cast and you and your family their most sincere good wishes for the holiday season.
Okay, I have one more radio show, and that will be the end of this cast, and that is, let me look, I believe it's Silent Night. Yes, the story of Silent Night, and that will be the end of my Christmas cast. Again, I hope everybody has enjoyed some of these old radio programs. Again, I will be uploading some of them after this since these are in the public domain. Copyrights have expired on these, so I will be uploading them in case people have enjoyed some of them, would like to listen to them at their own leisure. So, the next one's the story of Silent Night. I believe it's another half-hour one. So, in the meantime, I will have Scrooge McDuck on the screen. I probably won't actually play much of the game, DuckTales myself. So, I'll just pause the game and you can look at Scrooge. Unless you want to look at the little orange cone. Well, actually, it's not even the little orange cone right now. It's visitmysteryshows.com. So, this is the final show of the day. I would like to thank everyone that did come out. Hope you have enjoyed this Christmas
Campana's First Nighter program, a copyrighted radio feature, brought you tonight a play taken from the Bible. If you enjoyed the performance, a letter from you would be appreciated. A word from our audience is always appreciated.
Saturday night on CBS is the biggest show in town. Listen again for First Nighter next Saturday at this same time, and stay tuned to the Dick Haymes Show, which follows immediately over most of these stations. This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
Remember, a Hallmark card when you care enough to send the very best. Tonight, from Hollywood, the makers of Hallmark greeting cards bring you Mr. James Hilton in Herta Paoli's The Story of Silent Night on the Hallmark Playhouse. Each week, Hallmark brings you outstanding stories chosen by one of the world's best-known authors, Mr. James Hilton. Before we begin, here is a Christmas message from the folks at Hallmark and the friendly stores where Hallmark cards are sold. A special Hallmark Christmas card from all of us to all of you that comes with real sincerity and brings our friendly greetings, too. So, to the wishes you've received, please add our wish for Christmas cheer. And by the way, it's sure been grand to have you with us through the year. And now it is Hallmark's pleasure to present the distinguished novelist, Mr. James Hilton.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is James Hilton. Tonight on our Hallmark Playhouse, we tell you the story of how that wonderful Christmas song, Silent Night, came to be written 130 years ago. This story was told recently to a writer named Herta Paoli by the grandson of the man who wrote the music of Silent Night.
Holy night,
Christmas, the year of our Lord 1948. 1,948 years from the miracle of Bethlehem. Christmas, the birth date of the Prince of Peace. The birth date of hope and faith. The birth date of a miracle. In Bethlehem, 3 kings knelt and proffered gifts from the east. Since Bethlehem, many gifts, recorded and unrecorded, have been created of man's love of God and humbly offered in his honor. What you are to hear tonight will tell you of one such gift offered by 2 humble men 130 years ago this Christmas week. This, too, is the story of a miracle that was born one silent night. back now through the arches of the years, back 130 Christmas Eves, to meet a man named Joseph Moore, Father Joseph Moore. Those voices you can just barely distinguish are all voices that have said Merry Christmas through the years. Their sentiment remains and lingers on the Christmas air like a blessing. And now we are in the Austrian Alps, in a small village. The year is 1818. In the center of the town, near a swift-flowing stream, stands a whitewashed church with a tall, red-topped steeple. There are the church bells. They have a special joyousness tonight, as all church bells seem to have on Christmas Eve. Come now, we'll meet Father Moore. He's in his study, and his heart's a little heavy, because the church organ has broken down, and there'll be no music for the Christmas service.
Good evening, Father Moore.
Oh, good evening. Come in.
You don't know me, Father, but I'm in your parish. I've come from one of the charcoal makers' families. A child has been born to them tonight, and they beg that you come and bless the baby that it may live and prosper.
Have I time to go and return for my sermon?
Yes, Father.
Well, then I'll go at once.
And so it was that on Christmas Eve of the year 1818, Father Joseph Moore followed a woman up the rocky foothills of the Alps to a simple hut and blessed a baby on Christmas Eve.
Seems like a miracle that her child should be born this night.
Birth itself was a miracle. God has blessed her with a beautiful son on the most holy night of the year. And God has blessed me by guiding me here.
Father Moore walked down the snowy mountain, transfixed, transfigured. He thought of the baby and of the sacred night, and words began to stir and form themselves within him.
Holy night, silent night, holy night. All is calm, all is right. Silent night, holy night. All is calm, all is bright.
Round yon virgin mother and child.
Silent night, holy night. All is calm, all is bright.
Round yon virgin mother and child. Holy infant, so tender and mild.
Silent night, holy night. All is calm, all is bright.
How simple is the coming of a miracle to a stable in Bethlehem, to the heart of a man. After Father Moore had solemnized the Mass, he sat all night in his study, writing down the words that filled his heart, and when dawn came, he took the poem he had written to Franz Gruber.
Father, this is a fine poem.
I rather heard it as a song, Franz. I thought you might set it to music.
Thank you, Father. I should like to try.
And so the words that Father Moore had heard on Christmas Eve became music to Franz Gruber on Christmas Day. And before nightfall, he came to Father Moore's house.
I've written the music, Father. I wrote it for guitar and voice rather than the organ. After all, we have no way of knowing when the organ can be used.
Please, sing it. Let me hear it.
Silent night, holy night, all is calm, all is bright, round yon virgin mother and child, tender and mild. Sleep in heavenly peace. Sleep in heavenly peace.
In a neighboring Austrian province lies a valley, the Zillertal. And from the Zillertal, a few days after Christmas, came the organ builder, Karl Mauracher.
Well, now, Father Moore, Mr. Gruber, I think I have the organ in working order now. The mice had eaten holes in the bellows, but this leather patch should solve all your problems.
May I try it?
Well, go ahead.
Silent night, holy night, all is calm, all is bright.
I've never heard that song before, Father.
Franz and I wrote it at Christmas.
I've never heard a song like it. Would you teach it to me? I know people would like to learn it down in the Zillertal.
We'll be happy to teach it to you. Won't we, Franz?
We will be honored.
And so the hymn that was born on Christmas night started its journey out into the wide world. Karl Mauracher took the song down into the Zillertal. Silent Night was on its way from a small church high in the Alps to the cathedrals of the earth. All the children in the Zillertal loved to sing, and they all sang well. But of them all, the ones with the most beautiful voices were the four Strasser children, Caroline, Joseph, Andreas, and Amalie. And the organ builder worked painstakingly to teach them the song. On Christmas Eve, they stood in the doorway and sang it as a Christmas gift for their parents.
Silent night, holy night, all is well, all is right. From your Virgin Mother and Child, holy infant, so tender and mild, sleep in heavenly peace. Sleep in heavenly peace.
Oh, what a wonderful Christmas gift.
You sang that beautifully. I'm proud of you.
The organ builder taught it to us.
Thank you, Mr. Mauracher.
I hoped in the spring when Mr. Strasser takes the gloves to sell at the fair in Leipzig that perhaps he would find a way for you to sing the song there.
Sing at the fair.
We aren't good enough to do that.
We could never do it.
Why'd you want him to sing the song there, Mr. Mauracher? Well, to me, this song is almost like a song from heaven. The words came to Father Moore on Christmas Eve. The melody to the schoolmaster, Gruber, on Christmas Day. They gave it to their parish, and then it was given to me to carry down into the valley of the Zillertal. I, in turn, give it to you to take to Leipzig. Someone in Leipzig will take it on the next step of its journey.
Where is it going?
Who knows, little Amalie? Perhaps everywhere.
But who in Leipzig?
I don't know that either. But someone will make him or herself known to you, and the song from heaven will go on across the earth. Will you take it to Leipzig and send it on its way?
Oh, yes. Of course we will.
Silent night, holy night, all
are you children?
They are my children, sir. I'm Strasser from the Zillertal. This is my glove stand. We're here at the fair to sell chamois gloves.
Your children have beautiful voices, Mr. Strasser.
Yes. They sing every afternoon, and the people stop to listen to them just as you saw today.
And do they also buy the gloves?
Yes, I think it helps business. In any case, it does not harm it.
It was their song that caught my attention.
The song, sir?
Yes, I have never heard it before. My name is Polenz. I am the Director General of Music in the Kingdom of Saxony.
The Director General of Music?
Yes, I wanted to ask you children if you would care to appear at a concert one of these days.
A concert?
Oh, that would be terrible.
I'm afraid they aren't experienced enough, Mr. Polenz.
We must do it. We promised Mr. Morocco we've got to do it. It doesn't matter if we aren't good, as long as we sing it. We'll be happy to sing at a concert, Mr. Pollens.
Well, we may not be happy, but we'll do it.
Good. Next Tuesday, then, at the Gavant House, there will be an orchestra concert. Perhaps at the close of the concert, you will honor us with this song. The King and Queen will be there.
The King and Queen. Your Majesty.
Your Highness, we are honored.
Honored.
Well, children, don't look at the floor. Look at us. We want to see your faces.
I think they have a slight case of fright, Your Majesty.
We don't want you to be afraid of us. We have children just about your age.
Mr. Poland has told us you sing a wonderful song that you call a song from heaven. We're looking forward to hearing it.
If we just didn't have to sing it before all those people.
Now, some of them are the same people you sang it for at the fair.
Your Majesty, it's almost time for the concert to start. With your permission.
Just close your eyes, children, and pretend you're singing at home.
Silent night, holy night, all is
And the king and queen smiled and listened, and listening with them was the director of the Berlin Cathedral Choir. It was he who heard the song in Leipzig and took it on the next step of its journey to Berlin and the court of the emperor.
Sleep in heavenly
In a moment, James Hilton will return to bring you the second act of The Story of Silent Night. You've been so busy buying gifts for others, now let me tell you about a Christmas present for you from the friendly store where you find Hallmark greeting cards. It's a Hallmark date book. I have one in my hand now, and what a little beauty it is, from the colorful camellia on the cover to the last pink and white page in the book. It's just the right size to tuck away in your purse or keep beside your telephone, and so useful you'll always be referring to it. Just inside the cover, there's a place for your name and a list of important dates, like Easter and Mother's Day. Turn the page, and there's a calendar for January 1949, with a space beside each date for jotting down things to remember, social engagements, appointments, anniversaries. There's also room for names and addresses of people you'll want to remember during January. And so for every month of the year, right through to December. You'll find it especially valuable right now, because at the back of the book there's a place for your next year's Christmas card list, room for names and addresses, and an easy way to mark Christmas cards sent and cards received. You'll find so many uses for this handy Hallmark date book. Why not get your copy right away? It's yours without obligation, a Christmas gift to you from the friendly store where you find Hallmark greeting cards. Now back to James Hilton and the second act of The Story of Silent Night.
Those voices are the men of the Berlin Cathedral Choir singing for the Emperor on Christmas Day. There's the Emperor in the royal pew singing with them. No, he stopped singing. Look at his face. He's glaring at that hymn book.
What do you mean you don't know who wrote that song? Are you my concert master or are you not my concert master?
I am your concert master at the moment, sire.
Well, look at this hymn book. Just look at this page. What does it say?
Silent Night.
And what else does it say?
Author and composer unknown.
I want to know who wrote that hymn. Concert master, you've spoiled my whole Christmas. The trees, the gifts, even the dinner. If a thing is unknown, I wish it made known. I want order in my hymn book. I want it as soon as possible. You'll start out today in search of the name of the composer of Silent Night.
Yes, sire.
And so it was that Concertmaster Ludwig Erck started out to trace the origin of Silent Night. He went to big cities, he went to small villages. He talked to the young, to the old. Long, worrisome months kept pace beside him. And at last, even though he knew what he had to face in the anger of the king, he knew he had to give up. He sat, alone and disconsolate, in a small village inn near the Austrian border.
Will there be anything else, sir?
No, that'll be all. Oh, hush.
You don't like the bird's song, sir?
The bird? I thought it was my own mind. But that's the song I've been hunting for. Who taught it to him?
I don't know, sir. A traveler sold him to us. The man said he had bought the bird in Salzburg in St. Peter's Abbey.
Salzburg? Well, then, I shall go to Salzburg.
To Salzburg, to St. Peter's Abbey, which had been built 1,000 years after the birth of Christ. Concertmaster Erck walked through a dark pillared archway into a vaulted room, and stood where Father Joseph Moore had stood so many times in the years gone by.
Silent Night? No, I have no recollection of it.
It came from this abbey.
No, we don't allow any of our students to train songbirds here. We consider it a cruel practice to deprive God's creatures of their freedom.
I see. Well, perhaps it was a mistake.
Come, it's late. Have some dinner with us and then spend the night.
Yes?
Ow, you're hurting my ear.
Well, what is this?
Erck, I'm Ambrosius Prinsteiner, the choir inspector here at the Abbey. And this is young Felix Gruber.
Oh, my ear. I'm going to tell my father on you.
I was told about your inquiries concerning the bullfinch. This young rascal trained him.
You trained him?
It didn't hurt the bird.
Where did you learn that song that you taught him?
The song?
You heard the gentleman, the song.
My father wrote it.
Your father?
Yes, sir.
Where is your father?
In the village of Helene.
Helene? Mr. Prinsteiner, do you think you could arrange for this boy to have a day or two off so I could go with him to Helene?
Well, you'll have to talk to the abbot, but I'm sure it can be arranged.
And now young Felix Gruber and Concertmaster Erck are tucked in a fine sleigh behind a team of the Abbey's finest horses. The bells sing out gaily across the clean, crisp air, and the snow crunches under the horses' hooves. Now they are going through the pass above Helene, and now they are skimming down the main street to the market square before the church, and now they are pulling up before the small, friendly house which is the home of Franz Gruber. And so it was at last. Concertmaster Erck sat with the composer of Silent Night.
Mr. Gruber, I bring you and Father Moore the compliments of the king and the whole country.
Well. Father Moore is dead, God rest his soul, these 6 years past.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yes, he was a fine man. Do you have all 6 stanzas of the song?
I know we have only 4.
Felix, hand me the guitar, please.
Holy night, falling forth on the light of our Father's love and grace.
And so the words and the facts are taken down, and above the music will be the names Gruber and Moore. Concertmaster Erck walks out through the snow after dinner, and as he walks, he looks up at the snow-covered Alps that Father Moore loved. And Franz Gruber watches him from the window and wishes regretfully that Father Joseph Moore had been here to see his song brought back in triumph to the village of Halle. So you have journeyed back 130 Christmas Eves to meet a man named Father Joseph Moore, and the schoolteacher, Franz Gruber, and Karl Mauracher, the organ builder, and the Strassers, and all the rest who had a part in carrying the song from a village high in the Alps down into the world. Yes, now it has bridged 130 Christmas Eves. Now it has been sung by the old and the young, the rich and the poor. It has been sung in every language, in every country of the world. It has become a prayer that men can live together in one world as brothers, and that there be indeed peace on earth, goodwill toward men. You have heard the story of a miracle that was born one silent night.
Before James Hilton returns to tell you about our story for next week, I'd like to tell you about Hallmark New Year's cards. They're as bright and gay as a New Year's party. They're a thoughtful expression of friendship, and they're the best way I know to remember someone you may have overlooked when you sent your Christmas cards. Remember, these are Hallmark cards. When friends receive them and glance at the back, as you did, they'll see the Hallmark and know you cared enough to send the very best. Here again is James Hilton.
The story of Silent Night and the music you have just heard has all the beauty and joy and happiness of Christmas. There's nothing anyone can add to it. But I would like to introduce the man who's responsible for the splendid music you've just heard. I know you'd like to meet him, because so many of you have written us to praise his music. He's Lynn Murray, the musical director of the Hallmark Playhouse, whose work contributes so much to the success of our performances every week. Lynn, I personally want to thank you, not only on my own behalf, but for all our Hallmark people everywhere for helping to make our Playhouse musically outstanding.
Thank you very much, Jimmy. You know, I enjoy working with you and all the rest of the people here. It's very satisfying to be with people who are always working toward perfection. But I suppose that's quite natural when you realize that our sponsors are the people who make Hallmark cards. You know, Jimmy, writing music for a dramatic presentation has a parallel in the making of greeting cards. In our work, we try to compose the exact music to fit the story that is being told, to underline every mood, character, and change of scene. And Hallmark greeting cards always seem to express the fitting sentiment for every occasion. And by the way, I want to ask our audience to be sure to listen next week when we will dramatize your own book, Lost Horizon, with one of Hollywood's finest actors, Herbert Marshall. And the following week, it'll be our pleasure to present Louis Bromfield's MacLeod's Folly, starring Robert Young.
And now, for all of us here in the Playhouse, for our director-producer Dee Engelbach, for Jean Holloway, who dramatized tonight's story, for the Hallmark dealers whom you see in your own cities, for everyone who is proudly a member of the Hallmark family, we wish you, our friends, a very, very Merry Christmas. Until next Thursday, then, this is James Hilton saying good night.
Look for Hallmark cards that are sold only in stores that have been carefully selected to give you expert and friendly service. Remember Hallmark cards when you care enough to send the very best. This is Frank Goss saying good night to you all until next week at the same time when James Hilton returns to present Herbert Marshall in Lost Horizon, and the following week MacLeod's Folly starring Robert Young. This program came to you from the Hallmark Playhouse. This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
Well, everyone, that was my Christmas cast, pretty much. I have pretty much casted through quite a bit of Christmas programs that were from old time radio. And what I will do is I will go and upload those files in case people do want to download them. And I'll have links to them in case somebody does want to watch some of them at a later time. But yeah, this is pretty much the end of my cast. And I hope everybody enjoyed it, and I hope everybody has a Merry, Merry Christmas. But for me, I am calling this the end of my cast. Ah.